Hey there everyone, we're going to be covering how to get the Master Sword in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So right off the bat, we're going to start by heading over to Ekochi's Shrine, and then we're going to go north through Minchi Woods to go underground. Alright, so the reason we want to head down here into the Minchi Woods chasm is because that is going to let us get to the Deku tree, who is in the middle of the Lost Woods. You see in the little star icon to the northwest there. The reason we need to do so to get to the Master Sword is because the Master Sword is on the head of the Light Dragon, which is currently too high up for us to reach. However, after we get to the Deku tree and do some stuff there, the Light Dragon will start to fly lower, which will allow us to reach them a lot easier. But the first step in doing that is to head down here into the Minchi Woods chasm and make our way to a specific light route in the Minchi Grove. That way we will be able to get up into the middle of the Lost Woods through an easier way. If you don't do this method, you have to go through the Lost Woods in the way that is kind of a pain in the butt, as in you have to deal with all the teleporting fog nonsense. However, if you go underground through the Minchi Woods chasm, you just head northwest for about 5 minutes or so, and it'll take you to this area, which is very near to a light route. So you have to go up here to ascend to the Deku tree. However, we're first going to grab this light route, the Riko Nazem light route. We're going to do so and uncover part of the depths map. You can see the coordinates there in the bottom right. And we're also going to ungloom a heart. Now that we've done so, we can remove that stamp from the map. And you can see there the Minchi Grove, which we descended. But now that we've unlocked this light route, we're going to ascend this upside down platform area. And this will bring us right up into the middle of the Lost Woods, where the Deku tree is hanging out. It's a very long swim, but it does have to load the entire surface map. But yeah, here we are in the middle of the Lost Woods, which will play a little cutscene just to show you the Deku tree, who is unfortunately having kind of a bad time. Well, I say kind of, he's definitely having a bad time. You can see some gloom just spewing forth from the poor fellow's mouth. So yeah, the Riko Nazem light route leads right up to the middle of the Korok Forest, which is within the Lost Woods. There is a shrine really close by, which we will go into. I'll cut it out of this video because you don't really need to see what goes on in there. It's not really important. It's just a physics puzzle. But you should do it just so you have a fast travel point back into the middle of the Korok Forest in case you leave and want to come back. The Musa no Kira Shrine, that's it. Yeah, I'm just going to pop in here and do this real quick and I'll come back. Alright, that was an easy shrine. It took like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. But yeah, now we head into the Deku tree's bowels, which sounds pretty gross, and aptly, it is kind of gross down there. There's a lot of gloom stuff going on, including some gloom hands, as well as a phantom Ganon. There will be a shop in here after you clear out the gloom hands and phantom Ganon, but right now it's just empty, so we are going to drop straight down. On the way down, I periodically pause just to see how the layout is inside here. There are some platforms, however, you can't really cheese the gloom hands from these platforms like you can in some other areas. The reason for that is the gloom is right at the edges of these platforms. There they are, the gloom hands are now spawning. There's another little platform here, however, that's to get back up afterwards. It's not there for you to fight the gloom hands more easily, unfortunately. I think the developers realized that, which is why they covered the edges of these platforms with gloom gunk. So since we can't cheese the gloom hands, we'll have to take them out face to face. Albeit in a way that is still somewhat cheesing them. If you don't know, the best way to take out gloom hands and most enemies is with bombs. Here I'm just gonna launch a flurry of bombs at the gloom hands. It takes me about 10 bomb flowers to take out all the hands, and you really want to do this super quickly because if you don't, the gloom hands will regenerate, which will cause you to waste more bombs and etc. Don't get too close because you can blow yourself up, like I do right here. Yep. Thankfully I had a fairy in my inventory which prevented me from dying. So I just heal up relatively quickly, and then I get back to killing the gloom hands. Thankfully, Tulin, the Phantom Tulin, saves me a bomb there by just pegging one with an arrow. But now we have to deal with Phantom Ganon. So that double horizontal slash attack you need to jump backwards to avoid, which I don't get until the end of the fight. You'll see me get hit a bunch of times in this fight because I'm pretty sloppy. This is my first time back playing Tears in the Kingdom in close to a month, so pretty rusty. Not an excuse, but just an explanation for why you see me performing so poorly in this fight against a relatively easy enemy. Phantom Ganon's attacks are very obviously broadcast, so you can see them coming a mile away. So if you're a better Tears of the Kingdom player than I am, which you most likely are, you shouldn't have too much trouble with this fight. You see, the weapon I'm using is a Stalnox Pounder. It's got 30 power, more or less. So if you have a weapon about that strength, you should be able to do as much damage as I am to Phantom Ganon here. So you can block most of Phantom Ganon's attacks. However, this, the double horizontal slash that it does, is not blockable. Unless like it only hits you with one. If it hits you with both, the first hit will knock your shield back and the second hit will deal damage to you. Like you see there. So you want to be careful of that. You want to jump backwards and away from Phantom Ganon when you see that double horizontal slash. Every other attack, I'm pretty sure you can just straight up block without any issue, like that. You'll also notice that Phantom Ganon will leak gloom gunk as they are standing around. However, if you hit Phantom Ganon, the gloom gunk will get reabsorbed back into their gross body, thankfully. You could actually touch gloom for about a second or two before it actually corrupts one of your hearts. So there's not a huge risk there if you're active with your attacking. So yeah, that was the first successful backwards dodge I did this entire fight, right near the end. What to eat? What to eat? There we go, that should be good enough. And here I kind of freak out a bit, do a plunging attack for some reason, but yeah, finally get the last hit on Phantom Ganon, and they go down. And thankfully, the gloom disappears from inside the Deku tree, who I'm sure is super relieved to not have all this gross gunk inside of them. You're welcome, Koroks. Also, Phantom Ganon in this Deku Tree location will drop a couple of interesting items. I'm not sure if they are unique, but they're definitely worth picking up. So first you have the Gloom Sword, which is a pretty strong weapon. It will corrupt your body slowly over time, so you don't really want to use it too much. However, if you're backed into a corner, it's a good weapon to have on hand because it has pretty good power. If you can see in my inventory, I only have one weapon that's stronger than this, which is another Stalnox Pounder. I'm a big fan of Stalnox Pounders. They're quite fun. There's a couple of Dark Clumps and a Demon King's Bow, which is not that good. However, now that we've defeated Phantom Ganon, we are going to head up and talk to the Deku Tree to start an important quest towards getting the Master Sword. In fact, it's pretty vital unless you want to use tons of rockets and batteries to ascend really high up into the sky to meet the Light Dragon, which you can do if you want to, but it seems like an excessive amount of effort. So this way I found is probably a lot quicker than the rocket method. I don't even know how many rockets or how much batteries you would need. It'd just be a lot, so that's why I opted to take this route to get the Master Sword. So as we come out of the Deku Tree's innards, we're going to talk to Chio over here, who's this Korok. So Chio here is going to give us some counterintuitive advice about how to get to the Deku Tree, which you should ignore. I just want to show you this conversation for a little reason. Anyways, Chio says to follow those lights, but don't follow those lights. I did, and I ended up in the Lost Woods amidst the teleporting fog, and I was messing around there for a while. I come back after about 20 minutes of wandering around, and I noticed that you can just walk up this route and it'll take you straight to the Deku Tree. You can just talk to them right here. Bad dream, I'd say. Then we get a nice little cutscene here.
It is good to see you, Princess Zelda of Hyrule, and Link, Keeper of the Master Sword. Your blade has been fully restored.
For now.
Go on then, Link. Draw it once more.
Great Deku Tree! Thank you so much.
There is no need for thanks. I merely watched over its renewal.
It is amazing that a sword can heal itself, no matter how badly damaged it becomes.
Small note here, the Master Sword is an it.
Can do more than heal. The sword will continue to gain strength if bathed in sacred power. The stronger that power, the more powerful the sword becomes. The potential of this fabled blade may well be limitless. Truly the work of a goddess.
A sword that grows ever stronger. The Master Sword.
So yeah, the Master Sword is referred to as an it. It has a genderless pronoun, but that will change soon, which is an interesting note, just for lore reasons. But more on that later. But now, after the cutscene, you'll get the location of the Light Dragon on your map. And it'll move along with the Light Dragon's location and everything, so you could always track it very easily after this point. Also, the Light Dragon begins flying a lot lower, so it will be much easier to reach, which is the point of this quest that just started. So I lucked out here, and the Light Dragon is right next to the tower in the Gerudo Highlands, the Skyview Tower in the Gerudo Highlands. So I warp over there, and then I'm going to launch myself into the air. Up and away! There it is. There is the Light Dragon. There you can get a little bit of a better look. Let's just plunge down right onto its head. You could land on its tail and work your way up to loot some potential goods, but I just completely bypassed that because I'm too eager to get the Master Sword. Now, to get the Master Sword, to pull it out of the dragon's head, you'll need 2 full rings of stamina. If you have less than that, you won't be able to grab it. Oh, well, you will be able to grab it, but you won't be able to pull it out. As you can see, I have maxed out my stamina by this point, so I've got 3 full rings, which is more than enough. And there you go. Exactly 2 rings of stamina to pull out the Master Sword. Is it just me, or does the Light Dragon look a bit like Princess Zelda? Just a bit. Now we're treated to another nice cutscene. Ah, what a lovely view. This game looks really nice. You can see my bone club arm clipping through the dragon's head there a bit.
Link. Link. The Master Sword. Your sword. She is the key to destroying the Demon King.
She, not it.
He defeated her before, but
Defeated her.
slumber will heal these grievous wounds. And when you two next face the Demon King, you will have my strength to help you through her.
Through her.
Link, you are our final hope. I pray this sword reaches you in the future.
So I don't know why traveling through time changes the Master Sword's pronoun from an it to a her. But yeah, something you could speculate on. If you have a theory about that, drop a comment in the comment section below to let us know your thoughts. I have no idea why. It's just a thing in the game. But yeah, we now have the Master Sword. Now Link is finally complete. Well, mostly complete. You know, he's still missing like an arm, technically. But who needs 2 arms when you have the Master Sword? Am I right? Goodbye, Light Dragon. Quest complete. Farewell, old friend. We only knew you for a short time, but our time together will be cherished. But anyways, now that we have the Master Sword, let's test it out to see how good of a weapon it actually is. There I go. Completely whiffing on a drop-down attack. But yeah. As you can see, the Master Sword one-shots regular bokoblins. Now, the silver bokoblin here will take a bit more work to defeat. Yeah. As you can see, it headbutted me and it pretty much one-shotted me. I had another fairy in my inventory, so I didn't die, thankfully. Yeah, charged attack doesn't do a whole lot against a silver bokoblin, which is kind of understandable. Silver bokoblins, I think, are the strongest variation of bokoblin in the game. So here I run away for a bit just to see if I can find something to fuse the Master Sword to, because I want to see how its fusing potential is. So I fuse it to an iron box, which some of you may not be happy about. It may seem a bit disrespectful to fuse the Master Sword to a 1 power box. But yeah, it does the job. It does increase the power a tiny bit. And I managed to take down the silver bokoblin in about 10 to 15 hits or so not bad. And get a cool silver bokoblin horn for my efforts. But yeah, now we will check out how the Master Sword does on other enemies. But first we're going to head to Tarrytown to see if I can unfuse the Master Sword from the box that I fused it to. So I head to the Break It Down shop. However, when I go to the weapons section, you can't unfuse the Master Sword from something. You can't break it apart. The Master Sword technically isn't fused to anything in the game's logic, I think. Because as I'm walking around holding the sword, the box will just disappear and you'll see just the Master Sword. However, if you hit things enough with a fused Master Sword, the item will break off, but the Master Sword will not break. When it's about to break, you'll see the little message at the top of the screen where it says the Master Sword is running low on energy. A few more swings and the box or whatever you have the Master Sword fused to will break off and will leave just the Master Sword. There you go, just like that. However, if you look in your inventory, you'll see that the Master Sword does not break. However, it does have a recharge time. After a fused item on a Master Sword breaks off, it will take 10 real-time minutes for the Master Sword to recharge before you can use it again. However, it does not break. Also, it's pretty good at taking on gloom enemies. When you see a gloom enemy, or when you're down here, gloom enemies will cause the sword to glow a bit brighter. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Happy adventuring!